to my friend Jules Smith coming to us from Vancouver, Canada. And Jules and four other beautiful people journeyed through the very first iteration of our VIP coaching in Living with Vitality with me, myself, and the three other coaches I've tagged in this post: Wendy Stengel, Lauri Aigner, and Carol Wilson. And with our first group, it was, it was kind of all new and to us. And I do still feel like it was such an amazing experience. And then we kind of tweaked based on this group's, feedback and all of that. And then that the second group that we had come through in March just really, really had some great success. And Lauri will be interviewing someone, and Wendy will be interviewing someone from that group as well. So we're excited for these interviews to kind of help share the big picture of what our VIP coaching around our 10-day reset looks like. So our coaching group is our Live with Vitality coaching. And the four of us are really excited to pour ourselves into our customers, our clients every month. So 12 people journey through this, and that's our limit. And yeah, so Jules and I are going to talk a little bit about that today and what that looked like. So my first question for you, honey, is, kind of what was your, I mean, I know I roped you in, but what was your intention, once we talked about it and you were like getting clear on it. And, we talk about adding the whole food concentrates, and then we talk about, what things we're going to cut out for that 10 days. And you guys get, 30 intensive days really of private coaching with us. So after we talked about that, all of that, what was your intention? What did you think, was like, okay, here are my, big couple of goals for this month?
Okay. Hi. So for me, the initial intention was, I felt like I had gotten off the train track and I wanted to get back on the tracks. And every attempt that I ever made on my own, I just kept derailing left, derailing right.
Yeah. How
So
common is that, right?
I know.
Everybody,
So
I mean, yeah, we all say that, right? We all say that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep. So when you came to me and invited me to come along, I thought, well, this might be a really good opportunity to allow other people to take me on this journey until I'm strong enough to stay on the tracks on my own. So that is how I felt coming into it. My intentions were clarity. I was looking for clarity. I was so tired of the foggy brain, a lack of motivation, wanting to get going, but not knowing how to get going emotionally, physically, spiritually. I just really felt like I was off the track. The other intention was just to develop really positive habits that I could live with each day, not out of my control, so big that I couldn't do it, but just every day, small little pieces that I knew that I could do each day. And having four coaches help me along the way was paramount. Being reminded to drink water, use your hacks, fill up your fridge with really good food and actually prepare it, having meal plan, meal prep, having the support of other participants talking about their struggles or their victories. It was an incredible month, actually. Incredible how I started and how I ended and how I continue to be as a result of it. Fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love, first of all, I love the analogy of being off track, because I can't even tell you how many times I felt like that, even with my own spirituality. I always say, I felt like I fell off the path to find it again. So I love hearing that, like, we all do that. How many times have we all started something and, you're all gung-ho in the beginning, and without the accountability, without the buddy system, you don't have someone cheering you on. You don't have someone saying it's okay if you have a bad day. Let's start fresh, right?
Exactly. No need to sabotage anymore. Just stop and let's get going.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was very positive experience.
I love that. And
And
so
learning,
go ahead.
and even though I consider myself to know a lot about health and food and
Mm.
how to eat, when not to eat, all the new buzzwords out there. There was so much that I learned that I didn't actually know from the different coaches. Um, I used to pretty much I would utilize olive oil, way too much. And I
Mm.
learned how to really cut that back, cut down, and use it proportionately
Yeah,
to what I was doing, or how to cook without oils. You know,
right.
you can actually steam water your food. And there are a lot of good things that I really learned and picked up along the way.
That's awesome to hear because what's great about this is that as a coach, as a part of this program, I get to lean and learn from the other three just as much as you guys do. I feel like each time I go through, there's a little nugget too that I'm picking up from the other three. And I'm sure vice versa. Or even just a reminder that, you know, like you said, not needing to use as much oil. Gosh, I know that we used to totally do that too. And I spent part of last summer cutting all oil out, all fats out, just to
Mm-hmm.
see, just to experiment, you know, what that feels
Mm-hmm.
like. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and so I think that's the best part of this is that it is an experiment. It's an experiment in your own personal, how you feel inside your body. Because if you take every single individual human, we're all so different, we
Yeah.
all need different things. And so it's, you know, it's a 30-day intensive with the four of us. And
Mm-hmm.
we get to divide our time with you and spend some, each of us spend some individual time with you. And one of the things that Jules mentioned was the hacks. And so we start out
Mm-hmm.
with 4 health hacks that we send, one from each of us. And so that link is in this post. You can click on that if you're watching and kickstart that journey. It's free. The health hack series. Each of us talk about you know, one of our favorite health hacks. And then we do kind of circle back to those in this month of, you know, Carol's, for instance, around willpower is profound. And I think a lot of people were like, well, I watched it, but I'm not really incorporating it. And we're like, okay, well,
We'll
let's
start
try.
doing it and you
Yeah,
will.
let's try and do that and see how you can, you know, really curb some of those urges and feel
Mm-hmm.
into, you know, what the urge is, or feel into your hunger. You know, a lot of people are, you know, they just eat mindlessly without thinking, am I really hungry, or am I thirsty, or do I really need a
Mm-hmm.
snack, or can I wait till dinner? Is it okay to feel a little hungry and separate the emotional body from the physical body, right?
Exactly. Yes. And I was going to say too, the coffee thing in the beginning, I was like, oh, I can give up coffee, no problem, but I don't want to give up coffee. And then you guys are like, well, drink decaf. That's perfectly fine. I'm like, really? I can? You're like, of
Right,
course you can. And we was just like, wow, this is great. I have permission to drink coffee. And guess what happened after a while? I didn't even want it,
right. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, there's so many other fun things to
I
drink.
started enjoying turmeric tea,
Right.
or, a dandelion coffee instead. Just alternatives. There's many alternatives out there. And when you're with a group of people and everybody's thinking about the same collective outcome, everybody has great advice
I love
to
that.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a hard one.
felt we
So
felt
when
really
Jules
supported.
well, and I'm glad because that's our point. That is, we are pouring ourselves into each and every one of you to give you that support for success. And I'm glad you brought up the coffee piece because this coaching program is built around our 10-day reset that our entire company does together. And I've been doing, and all the coaches have been doing for a long time, several years now, where we do cut out 5, I call them the 5 naughties of elimination, I mean, of inflammation. And you know, cutting out all 5 of those things at once can be tough for people, but then we talk about adding in the things to support that. So instead of focusing on what you can't have, let's focus on what you can. Let's focus on, like you said, drinking more water, or maybe what the intermittent fast feels like to you, or moving every single day, and
Mm-hmm.
sleeping. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we don't give ourselves permission to sleep enough, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, so now let's
Yeah,
talk
and that
takeaways.
drastically improved.
It did.
Takeaways. It drastically improved my sleep.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Now I look forward to going to bed now. I don't have the anxiety that I used to have
About
about
not
going to bed,
sleeping.
about not sleeping. Yeah. So now it's embarrassing, but by 8:30 I'm getting ready for bed.
Yay! Exactly. Permission
And
to sleep.
permission to sleep. And I'm out by like 9:15.
Oh, I love it. And then, but
It's
then
the
how fresh do you wake up to go on the days that you
it's
have, right?
so I honestly I feel like such a different person. It scares me the thought of ever being the person I was from 2 months ago. Like
Wow.
it's huge, huge
That's
difference.
profound. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
profound.
yeah.
Okay, so you're sleeping better. What else?
No fog. My brain's not foggy the way it
Okay.
used to be. I actually experience pockets of joy that I didn't experience prior. Um, what else?
How does your body feel?
Oh, it's great. Every day I'm hiking 10 kilometers a day and just feel very strong and fit. I've actually lost 10 pounds. It was not my ultimate goal to lose weight. I just wanted to feel more comfortable in my clothes, but I didn't start this saying, I want to lose weight. I didn't want to make that my focus.
Mhm.
I knew that there was so much more to go to achieve than just this mindedness of losing weight.
Yeah.
So I was really focusing on what are the bigger pictures, the bigger things that I want in my life, and more mobility, get rid of that foggy brain, um, finding like just pockets of joy, whatever it might be. I'll be driving to work and just be overwhelmed with this feeling of wellness
Mm,
that almost like in the beginning scared me a little bit. It was like, whoa, that's like a really foreign feeling, you know, but then just kind of allowing myself to feel it more and more because
oh, wow. I love that.
I, yeah, it's just
It's the
another
sign of a
takeaway.
nutrient dense human, right? You're eating clean, you're free of all the processed stuff. Your brain isn't fogged with, the other kind of sort of neurotoxins, if you will, that we put inside of our body
Right.
that we don't think are affecting
Yeah. Like
us.
I can't even go out to restaurants anymore because I understand too well what's in the foods in the restaurants.
Yeah.
And if I can make it myself at home, I'll enjoy it so
So
much
you're
more.
saving money.
Yes, saving money, that's a great takeaway, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge
um,
takeaway for
it's a
people.
huge it is
Especially with
huge.
the investment that this program is, it's like, okay, I always talk about like, well, when something is an investment, what is the lifetime value of that one investment? We get so focused on a number and thinking about, can I afford that? Am I going to get value out of it? Is it going to be, how do I prove that value? Is it going to be something that I will actually use? I've heard a couple of people say to me about something else, not this, like, oh, well, even if I pay for it, I sometimes don't use it. Right. And so,
Yeah, yeah. Um, I just paying for it is you get paid back tenfold
yeah.
after your investment, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. What did you find most valuable about the coaching piece? So in this, we each
Ah,
do a 30-minute coaching session with every one of our participants. And then we also do, we have that kind of on-demand coaching. You have text ability to text us at any point. If you're in the grocery store and you're like, what do I buy? Or you're at a restaurant and you're like, what do I eat? I remember when one of the participants in your group did that with Carol, and she said,
mhm,
yeah, just text me the menu, and I love that. So,
exactly. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
what's the most
That was
valuable
great.
about the coaching piece of this?
For me, it was at the time in my life, it was having really clear, grounded women to connect to
Hmm.
and just present myself and be supportive. So I guess you could say it was the love. I felt very nurtured and very loved. Yes, very. um, And at that point in my life, that's what I really needed to get onto the track and stay on the track, especially with COVID and being in another country, not being around my family, my children. I just needed that community, a sense of community. And that's what I felt the four of you really offered to me.
Mhm.
I
That's
really look forward to those calls. Like, it was still dark out at like
mm,
5 o'clock at night. And I would just sit on my couch with my tea and just
yeah.
connect, connect in with another face and hear their wisdom and receive it. It was really good. Yeah,
Mm, I love that.
very,
Yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah, and I didn't even mention that piece. So yes, in addition to the private coaching, the one-on-ones that we have a group coaching session almost pretty much every week. For your group, I think we did 3 or 4, but now we've got 5 of them scheduled. And once you're through our VIP program, you get 3 months of our membership included. And so we have
It's
one,
invaluable. Yeah,
yeah. Well, we have
definitely.
one, so we have one Zoom a month for our members. And the VIPs get, in that first month, they get a lot of hand holding because,
Because we need it.
you're talking about food prep for this,
Yeah,
10-day reset. You're talking about solutions. We're talking about mindset. We're talking about
yeah.
exercise. We're talking about so many different things. As I said, it's a
Hmm.
30-day intensive. But
Hmm.
then, now, I reached out to the couple of you that came through me, my funnel, because, we each bring a couple of people on each month. So I reached out to you guys and said, it's the Shred 10 program. I said, are you shredding with us this month? And both of you were like, of course I am. Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
My husband's even going to join me.
wow. Oh my God, that's a huge takeaway, right? Getting your
Yeah,
family to do it with you is so
yeah.
profound. And it's the
Hmm.
buy-in and the commitment and the like camaraderie of, I remember when Craig started doing it with me.
Hmm.
And now we both cook this way. I mean, now he's cooking, he took over
Hmm.
cooking a couple months ago, which I had done for 5 or I don't even know, 6 years.
Hmm.
Um, and it's amazing to have him
It is
excited about
amazing.
finding healthy, nutrient dense food and, colorful foods and get excited
Hmm.
about food. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's important for us to celebrate food.
Right. In so many diets that I did prior to this, I had been cutting food out. I hadn't
I
been
know.
about, adding the nutrient dense food in. I had been thinking, okay, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have
Can
this.
have that. Right.
And
Yeah,
that
I cut out
visual
all
temptation.
vegetables. I'm not vegetables, I cut out all fruit.
Fruit.
And man, now I just like every day I have an orange. It's just like my happy place. I just
Oranges,
love an
oranges,
orange.
or grand grapefruits for me, but oranges are their
Mhm.
joy, their second
There is just
chakra.
something about peeling it and just that first taste. Oh, so nice, especially if you're in the mountains, like on a hike. It's such a reward.
It's like it's
So,
nature's candy.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, girl.
Thank
Well,
you, Andy.
yeah, we'll wrap it up there. If you're interested in learning about our Live with Vitality coaching programs, click on that link that I have in this, or reach out to one of the 4 of us and learn more. Thank you, sweetheart, for being brave and going first and telling people about your journey and for journeying through with us. And giving us, all the invaluable feedback that you did to help us make this the best program that it is. So
Oh,
thanks for
thank you.
watching,
Thank all of
everybody.
you.
And yeah, we'll see you soon.